talking about. All right, so the ball is in your court now.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening to our cherished listeners and viewers. I know you are excited, super excited like myself here, because today we are coming to talk about love, sex, and romance, the pros and cons. And I know that, yay, you'll be asking yourself, what is she coming to talk about? But hey, there's a lot about sex, there's a lot about love, there's a lot about romance. I have with me here Suleiman Dazi and then Prince
Your boy
Champion. Yeah. And today we are coming to discuss about this thing called love, sex, and romance. I know I'll say that, or most of you say that it's overrated because we have been talking about it every now and then. But yes, how many of us growing up in our traditional homes do we hear about love? Do we hear about sex? Do we hear about romance? Does anybody talk to us about those things? How do we learn about these things? How does it come about? Do we just read on the net because now by the grace of God we have social media, that things are there that we'll go there and talk about? Nobody gives us this kind of education that this is what it is. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So today we are coming to dissect, and I know you're ready for us, and you will never, okay? And don't forget to phone in. You have so many things going on. You have so many experiences and other stuff going on that you would like to share with us. So we are ever ready. We want to be wowed by your questions today. So yes, to Suleiman,
Okay.
love. What does love mean to you?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity and a very good evening to our cherished listeners. Before I start talking about what I want to say, I think I will have to use this opportunity to extend my deepest condolences to people in the early grade department for the souls that were lost some days ago. Our sympathy, goes to them, and those who actually sustained, series of injuries. We wish them speedy recuperation. Love is one topic that is so complex. Many a time you hear people talk about it, and I feel that it's one of the words that are overly abused. People talk about love, but I don't really know what it is. Personally, I think it's a profound affection, that one has towards the other person. All right, and in other words, I would say that love is a personal commitment to have a feel for somebody and help that individual to grow.
Okay.
Yes, in my view, that is how I see love. So it's profound,
All right.
and it's an affection that one has towards the other person.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it shouldn't be like something that is just one-sided.
not at all.
So
It's-
it should be mutual. You're giving it, I'm also giving it.
For the mutuality, it's not always like that.
Okay.
You can have instances where you would have a particular affection towards somebody, and that feeling might not be, replicated. So if you have love for somebody, it is not automatic for the person to also feel the same way for you. It is your personal decision to have that feel for the person. It is your personal decision to fall in love with the person, to have that profound affection for the person. So it isn't, automated for the person to also feel the same way for you. It is never like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it shouldn't be something, it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like a mutual thing that, okay, because I love this person, I expect that person to also love me back.
Not at all. That is one mistake that most people make.
Okay.
Okay, and in the long run, they get disappointed. The fact that you love somebody doesn't necessarily mean that the person should love you back.
Okay.
So you need to make effort so that the person will also replicate that feeling that you have for you. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it is not automatic.
All
You can have that affection for somebody, but that person wouldn't have the same affection
That-
for you. Yes.
for you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Dr. Prince, what do you think love is? Looking at it from the biblical aspect, because I know you are more of a churchy person, a pastor, and always pious. So I want to know from that aspect.
Elder Prince.
So, talking about love, like what Sule was saying,
Yeah.
like it is not always that the issue that it should be from the two sides.
Okay.
It may be that it will come from one person,
Okay.
which you will not even find same in the other person. Like what's happened in the Bible, talking about being the church person.
Yeah.
Like John 3:16, what happened over there?
Okay. For God so
So
loved
loved
the world,
that he gave up his only.
begotten Son.
So God actually needed nothing in return.
Okay.
Just that he just wanted to give out his son, his only son, to humanity.
Okay.
So love is something that is so huge, so great. So people will also say that it's a serious affection.
Okay.
A serious affection. So which there will be no room for jokes or other things when it comes to love.
Okay. All right. So, thank you very much for giving us the biblical aspect. But to me, love is a feeling, like a warmth. Okay. We learned about love, or we know about love from our parents.
Yeah.
We got those things from our parents when we were born. The kind of attending our mother gave to us. Okay, I'm using our mother because she's the one who does most of the job. With the men, because the babies will poo-poo, so they don't like carrying them. But the kind of...
I bet to differ.
You bet
Same
to
here.
differ. All right.
Yeah,
So
right.
with that is the warmth, the feeling that a parent give to a child. So that is what, and then through the nurturing, that is how we learn about love. So just imagine if upon all these things that you go through as a child, and then through socialization, your socialization is not that massive, okay? It's not strong enough. And I use a church because it's so churchy, it's not funky, from the beginning I said, in our traditional home, does our parent talk to us about love? Do they talk to us about sex? Do they talk to us about romance before we become like teenagers and stuff? Are we their friends? How do we get to learn all these things? How do we get to know that, okay, this is love, this is not love? Then by the time you realize you're just old enough and you're entering marriage or you're getting married, and now that is your husband, that is your wife. You don't even know what you're supposed to do as a woman. You don't know what you're supposed to do as a man to jazz up your marriage, to make it spicy. You see it like it's a normal thing. It's not a normal thing. Just imagine two different people coming together through dating, courtship, and all that, then leads into marriage. You have no idea about the other person. If you don't know how to love yourself, how do you love the other person? That is the most important question we have to ask ourselves.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And there are various types of love.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I know we have the agape love.
Yeah.
That will go to my brother here because he's more into churchy, so he will talk about the agape love. We have the philia, we have the eros, we have the storge. Yeah. And then when we take or we break these things down, okay, when it comes to the storage, we look at, I talked about the parental affection, the kind of attending a child gets from the mother, how the mother nurtures that child, like an egg, taking care of it that it doesn't break.
That is an empathy bond.
That is it. So when you have that kind of affection towards your own child, or towards I want to use the word again, a loved one, there's that kind of bond between you, and you are able to express yourself well. But if it is not there, it becomes very difficult to relate with other people. Just imagine a home without love. What do you see when that person comes out?
Yeah.
How is it like? the person becomes too stiff. I don't do this. I don't
it
do
affects
that.
the person's social life.
That
because,
is it.
How can you come from a home without love? So
Yes.
people like that sometimes tend to be very wicked people.
Mm.
Yeah, because they never experience love.
Okay.
So they are sometimes, narcissistic. They are insensitive.
Yeah.
They are callous people because when they are hurting others, they don't really feel anything because they never experience that kind of love.
Yeah.
I hope you get it. Yeah. So
Okay.
that is it.
Okay. Then we look at the philia.
Yeah.
The philia talks more about friendship.
Friendship. Yeah.
So friendship, that kind of bond between friends, there's nothing between it. There's
Yeah.
nothing like,
It's not sexual.
it's not sexual.
Others call it, is it platonic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
platonic.
Yeah.
That kind of. So with that one too, there's affection, there's a fondness. I like this person to the core.
Yeah.
I just like the way he or she is. Let me relate to her in that manner. But let us not forget to become what? People pleasers. We have people like that because Akosia is my friend, let me do everything
To
to
please
keep
them,
that
yeah.
kind of friendship.
But people are also particular about relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They will do whatever thing to keep their friends.
So it's just
Yeah,
like a person pleaser.
One thing is that there is commitment and sacrifices in friendship.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope you understand.
Yes.
So if the bond that you have with the person is just a friendship bond, there are certain things you do that you would have to compromise on your certain values just to make sure that your friend is all right. That is a sacrifice and a commitment that comes with friendship. So I wouldn't actually call them pleasers, but sometimes it's because they want to keep and maintain that healthy friendship that they have.
Okay.
You get it. But when it becomes, something that is, very monotonous, it's something that is, repeating itself all the time, you're always the one trying to save the friendship. Then I think that the other side is not, giving that love that, you also deserve.
So it's still like people pleaser.
It's supposed to be a mutual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes. But I'm saying that there are instances where you are supposed to make certain sacrifices just to make sure that the relationship works.
Okay.
Just to make sure that the friendship is intact.
Okay.
You cannot, two masters cannot, stay in the same apartment.
Yes.
Definitely there should be a king, there should be a master, and there should be a servant.
Yeah.
All right. So in friendship, it's like that. There are instances where one would have to be the servant and one would have to be the master. But it shouldn't always be that, there's always a servant and a master. When it happens like that, that is where some of these challenges, do happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you said, being friends with somebody doesn't mean that it has to be one-sided.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to respect each other. When there is love like that, and love, as we said, is a personal thing that we have towards somebody. And I would say that when you command respect, you get it back. It's the
Yes,
same
sure.
as love. So if I'm giving you my all as a friend, okay, I like you, the fondness, the affection is there. That thing should be like a mutual thing. It shouldn't be one-sided that I'm the only person who always checks up on you,
Yeah.
who always buys food for you, who always bring water. Oh, we are going out. Let me do this. Let me do that. It shouldn't be like that. Okay, so even though we have that as friendship, the friendship bond, that's the philia, it doesn't mean that it should be one-sided, because it is through friendship that the other side comes, that the eros comes. Okay, because
But there are instances where we don't even know if indeed that people, certain people are our friend.
okay,
It happens. You might think that this person is your friend.
yeah,
But in that person's view, you are just a
You are
colleague.
not a friend.
You're not a
Yeah.
friend.
yeah,
So sometimes, getting to know that this individual is a friend is even one problem.
okay,
You might be giving your all, but trust me, the person is not even thinking about you.
okay,
You get it. That is one mistake that many people make. So to identify, there are certain characteristics that would help you to identify that this is indeed a friend.
okay,
So when you're making effort at helping the friendship, at sustaining the friendship, they are doing that wholeheartedly, but not a situation where you are the only one that is putting in all the effort. Then it become one-sided. That is
Yeah.
not friendship.
that
Others
is
will call it situationship.
or friends with benefits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Because I
Because
want something from you.
Sometimes I would say that I have that problem because I'm one person that I'm always particular to the friendship, every friendship that I'll be in, I'll make sure you are good
Okay.
as my friend. But I have people who don't even think that way.
Yeah.
But I still try to keep them, around me, because maybe they think they don't need you, but you need them.
Exactly.
That's why I'm always serious about keeping them as friends.
Like
Yes.
sometimes when I chat to you, you don't respond.
That is personal matter.
That's personal matter, yeah. So just as both of you said, yes, so it's true. Okay, so now we look at the errors. Okay, that talks about that's the romantic
love,
type. Yeah,
That's what Prince is actually interested in.
I don't
Are you
think
sure?
so. He's a pastor, so he doesn't like talking about.
Oh, but pastors,
No,
Are you sure?
there are pastors that are romantic.
They are.
They
but-
are.
Being a pastor doesn't mean that.
No, but with him, I had an issue like bringing him on board. I said, how is he going to? Would he fail? Okay, then it's good to bring the biblical aspect in this thing. So let him be here as a guide.
They are human beings too. They have
They,
feelings.
they are.
No one is disputing that.
I'm not, but we have some kind of instances that pastors come and then they talk about things that you have to be pious. You don't have to say things. They can't even say the things like
Yeah.
straight as it is. If it's black,
That
they'll
is
be,
hypocrisy.
oh, it looks like this. It looks
That is
like
hypocrisy.
It's
If it is white,
burgundy,
say it's white.
Not,
If it is
it's
black,
not
say it's black.
red. Okay, then we have some too, like Pastor Odru.
Yeah. Alabaster
Some-
box.
the alabaster. Yes, some of the things that he brings out. There was a time that I listened to or I watched a video about women, using cloth around them.
Yeah.
No, we'll be talking about this thing. It will come up. It shouldn't be so. If you're married,
to be
doesn't mean
romantic,
or
yeah.
you feel that now the man is mine. The ladies, I should do this. Men, beware, I'm coming to you. You're always checking the women that she's supposed to be sexy. This is what I saw in her before, I got married to her, or I decided that she should be my girl or she should be my woman. But you forget that you too, that tummy of yours is becoming like case 5. That one too is
That
not
one
attractive.
it's normal,
You see? Chauvinist. It's not normal. You're supposed to work out to keep in shape, to look sexy. That is what the lady also
So you prefer
saw.
the 6-packs, right?
Oh no, not 6 packs. At least, like be healthy.
At least should be reduced.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
6-packs. They didn't have power. Be a
No, and now to Chinese people have this kind of plastic thing that you guys put it on as if it's 6 packs. It's a lie.
We are learning from you people.
Yeah.
You put on hip pads and all of that. So.
Oh jeez. Okay, so the Eros one is more romantic, and then I guess that is what people are looking out for.
Yeah.
The physical attraction, the sexual intimacy. It happens. It's something that happens whether we like it or not. As we are growing up, it gets to a stage that those kind of feelings comes up. But there are ways and means of not venturing into it
Yeah.
when you're at that tender age, when you know that you are not ready to be mommy, to be daddy. After enjoyment, then when the thing comes up, you'll be like, hey, no, this is not me, please. When you enjoy, you should remember that there's something that will be a fruit of your labor, which will come out later. So when you're enjoying, you should know that you need to take good care of yourselves.
Sure.
And always don't also forget that, the other partner, how safe is that person? How safe? Now we have
STIs. Yeah.
and all that, so if you don't take care of yourself, you definitely give it to somebody.
Yeah.
And with men, they can detect it so easily and treat themselves. But with the women, it's
some
with
time,
them.
yeah.
It takes time until the person starts, stinking, if I should put it. Yeah, they have this bad odor before they get to realize that I have this thing or I don't have that. Now we look at the agape love.
Yeah.
Unconditional love. Like that's good. Then we have the hug too. When you're hugging, we call it my Pentecostal friends, please. Pardon me, let me
Pentecost
use
hug,
that
eh?
Pentecost hug. All right. We just do it like that. We don't want to touch anything. That's the Pentecost, that agape.
Yes, it's even
unconditional.
nice. Go to
Yeah.
Deeper Life, you will see.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So deeper
this is
life,
even
what
nice.
happens? What happens? I only know of the Pentecostal.
Pentecostal
I don't
hug,
know
yeah.
about the
They even
deeper.
hug in the air.
Whoa. Okay, so it's just like blowing a kiss to somebody, like "Mwah," that kind of thing. Oh, okay. So we just do this. That's the action.
Yeah.
That's a COVID kind of hug. Oh,
Probably.
probably. Okay. All right.
So the agape love, I don't know if I would have to go that lane, the biblical way. I
Yeah.
think there was one that existed between David and Jonathan.
Yes.
That was unconditional.
Okay.
Yeah, when they had a plan to execute David, I think it was Jonathan that actually served as a whistleblower, just alerted David, and he had to escape. So if you are going a biblical way, I think that is a typical example
Okay.
of the agape love. Yeah.
So the first example, this is what we spoke about from creation. Why should we even create man?
Okay.
To take dominion of what we've created.
Yeah.
That was the first love being shown to man. Talking about what Jesus also did, to be crucified for what he didn't cause.
That's unconditional.
It's unconditional.
Why are you sounding emotional?
Can
I'm
I
not
die for
sounding
my
nice.
life? So I'm asking. I'm throwing this question to both of you. Would you die for your love?
I think the only person I can die for would probably be my mom, my dad.
I
or
said
something.
it.
Kracha issue.
Oh, I'm telling you the truth. Like,
Oh, your lady is listening.
oh yes, she should listen very well. Oh, that is the truth. So far as you're not married, I think that there are certain sacrifices that you wouldn't have to make. I'm just being frank and sincere. All right. As I speak, I think it's family. Yeah. I can just make that sacrifice for family. Because you can just make a sacrifice for a woman, and the next minute you are ditched. You get it. So the love between a father and a son, the love between a mother and a son, is so unconditional. You understand? It's not based on anything. It's natural. So it would be so difficult for a mother or a father to treat the child so badly. Though it happens, I'm not disputing the fact that it happens, but under normal circumstances, that kind of love is so natural and unconditional. But if it's a relationship, people date and dissolve the relationship.
Yeah.
Relationships are not meant to last forever. You understand? So if you're making sacrifices for somebody, they need to make sure that the kind of sacrifices that you're making for the person would end somewhere. You should be so convinced that at the end of the day, this is exactly what I'm going to get from what I'm doing. Though you should not do things with the idea that you're expecting something in return. But I don't think that anybody would want to do things wastefully. At the end of the day, there should be something, that is, worth noting after that sacrifice has been made.
But here is the case we are talking about unconditional.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be anything that you expect
Attached
from
to it. Yeah.
what you're sowing.
It's just like altruism. Like I'm
Yeah.
giving it my all.
Philanthropism, yeah.
I'm not expecting anything in return. I'm
Yeah.
giving my all. If that person returns it or doesn't return it, that's okay with me.
But does that happen these days?
I'll say one in a million.
When you take the relationship between parents and their children aside,
Yeah.
how many people show unconditional love?
Yeah.
How many people? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. Right?
Even saying some parents cry, this time I even doubt that.
Yes, but I'm just, speaking, in generic terms. Okay? Yes. So generally speaking, that is how it's supposed to be. But in relationships, in dating, in courtship, do we see that a man is giving a woman money and expecting sex in return?
Yeah.
The woman is washing for the man
Cooking.
because
She's expecting marriage.
exactly. So it's conditional. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So to have that kind of unconditional love these days is it's very rare. Yeah. To me, it's very rare.
Okay.
Yes, it will be so difficult to find such a love.
Yes. I'm not disputing the fact that
there
it
exists.
but I'm saying it's rare. That is what I'm saying. It
You-
exists, but it's very difficult to come by.
This-
Such
yes.
things. Yeah. Most of the love we see these days is conditional.
That's what you think. Anyway, you
That's
no, you are yet to
What I'm
experience.
saying is not sacrosanct.
You are
Right?
yet to experience that.
Yes, it's you can argue, but that is my opinion.
I think
I
I
need
think
to, yeah.
I have to look into it. I have to research into it very well. Okay, so now what are the signs that will make one know that yes, this is true love?
True love. People ask, does it even exist?
Oh, it happens in fairy tales, like
Yeah.
those kind of Snow White.
And these are people
Rapunzel
watch
and
too much
And we
telenovelas.
read
So
books,
They
you know,
think-
Mills and Boone, Sandra, is it Brown? Those kind of things. Yeah.
But if we are looking at things that would make you feel or see that this person is really into me,
Yeah.
there are several signs. Several signs. Sometimes you'll be with somebody and naturally you are so safe. You feel so safe. You feel so secured.
And that kind of secureness also brings issues.
Okay.
Do you know why I'm saying that? As for this lady, as for this guy, he's not going to cheat. She wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't do anything to let me doubt him or her. Yet,
Yeah.
something goes on.
Humans are unpredictable.
Look at you.
No, humans are naturally we are unpredictable, right? So it's you can trust somebody, but it should be to some extent, right? Because if you give your all, well, at the end you get disappointed.
No, but I'm thinking that it is good to trust
Yes, there's no love
without
there's-
trust.
Yes, so definitely.
Because-
But I'm saying that you shouldn't overly trust the person. You understand?
Yeah.
Expect less. If you expect less, you get less disappointment. But if you expect more and you're disappointed, it's really agonizing.
It will affect you so much.
I hope you understand what I'm saying. So just expect less. Just live your life.
Okay.
But if that security is there, I wouldn't want to assure anybody that because you're in a relationship and you feel your boyfriend is not cheating, your girlfriend is not cheating, you just have to trust is very important. But the person can change at any particular point in time.
That change too could be something coming from you.
Exactly.
Or naturally the person is just fed up or just in the market to be trying stuff.
Okay.
Is not ready to settle. We have people who just wants to have fun, the fun of it. They will do everything in their power to make you feel secured. They will give you the love that you're talking about, the affection, the fondness. They are there for you. You want to discuss issue with them. They are there 24/7. They will listen to you, but they will still do their
Yeah.
thing.
So these are the things that makes it so difficult.
So it makes that kind of feeling safe is there. You think you feel safe with that person. You are safe with that person. He's that gentle guy. She cooks. He cooks. He does this. He listens. She listens. But we are humans, okay?
Yeah.
We are humans. So if you put that at the back of your mind that things happen, shit happens, excuse my French, this kind of things will come up. We say that women, it's what they hear that turns them on.
Okay.
That makes them skewed to you. That makes them glued to you like a leech. But when it comes to men, it is what they
we
see.
we are moving what we've seen.
Yeah, and then by sight, she has this Coca-Cola shape. She has the boobs there. The bums are good. The shape is there. I like it. Some too are attracted by the lips.
Oh,
I
okay.
like the way the lips is,
Okay.
the way it moves when she's
Saucing,
talking.
okay.
Those kind of, she's a good kisser, so I like it.
Oh, okay.
When she stands, when I look at her boobs, yay, her back, yeah. Then I know she is the one. The legs, some too is the legs for them.
Yeah.
So it depends. When you look at these things, okay, when you look at those kind of things, they fade because we grow.
Yeah.
And no matter what we do, no matter the kind of creams we use, the soaps, the medication and stuff, you can cheat nature.
Yeah. You can cheat nature.
You
yeah.
can cheat nature.
But we're talking about the security that people need in relationship. I think it cannot all be put together because I'll be in one relationship, maybe depending on the type of security that I need. One will be in because of financial security.
Okay.
One will be in for another thing. So
Okay.
it's not all the time that it's because I'm here.
Okay.
Because I want to be secured when it comes to financial issues.
Okay.
So it depends on what the person is looking at.
Okay.
Not just that I need security.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, I think I get your point.
There's this sign that I look out for every now and then, like a sign of true love, is to listen. You know, that's why by explaining the first point, I said we have people who will give you all those kind of security and stuff. They will listen to you, but they'll do their stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's just like somebody who listens to you. It's not hearing. When I say hearing, in the sense that you say something, the next minute it comes
Yeah.
out.
Active listening.
Active listening. So if the person listens to you, listen with rapt attention.
Attending.
That is attending. You know, everything goes in. But when we come to hearing, it's just like I hear in the right ear, then it comes out in the left ear. That's the end. The next minute you ask, what did I say? Oh, I spoke to
Yeah.
you about. The person
They
doesn't
cannot
even
even
remember
recall, yeah.
anything.
People,
You get
people
it?
even forget the birthdays of their girlfriends and boyfriends. So it's like that.
People,
Oh, but if you say that, we
one
have
can even forget his own. So
no,
what-
but
how
we
much-
have we even have parents who forget their kids' birthdays. It's not because they intentionally do so, but because they have a lot of things on their shoulders and
for
you
that it's
know.
understandable.
Yeah.
It's
But you know,
okay.
I spoke about being a people pleaser. If it's one-sidedness and all that. So in this aspect too, I remember your birthdays every year. Then I'll have this kind of a surprise party for you, giving you gifts and stuff. But when it gets to the other party, you always seem to have forgotten.
Yeah.
Oh, today is your. Did you say today? Or did you? Yesterday was your birthday. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I had so many things to do. Oh, always receiving. That shouldn't be. That's not a sign of true love.
The ladies
because-
like receiving usually.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
The
Oh, yes,
ladies.
for that one day.
We are tired of the boxer shorts that you guys.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm
Ladies
telling you.
give wrist watches,
How often?
bracelets. Oh,
How often?
then maybe you have not experienced that.
Oh, I'm not saying they don't. You know, I'm not speaking.
No, I
for
know you are
myself.
not
I'm
speaking
just
for
speaking
yourself.
for all
Generalization.
the gents.
Then you have no idea. Okay, it's just like Father's Day.
So you
Then
see.
we'll give our fathers. Oh no, but hey, me, it's all package.
Yeah, I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's I
Yes.
don't know, but naturally that is how the society has made it to be. You understand? Most of the behavior that we exude is culturally induced.
Okay, but don't
So-
get this wrong. Maybe the lady has realized that your boxer shorts, it's not going well. You hanged it and it's not looking good.
So
So,
they are buying new
maybe
ones.
yes.
So
every year
you
there
know,
should be a
you know,
boxer shorts.
you know. Oh no, it's not like that.
Every year birthday.
That is what
boxer
they've
shorts.
been doing.
It's not
Every year
like that.
Birthday boxer shorts, singlet, boxer
No,
shorts, singlet.
they just want you to look. We have some men that will not spend money on such things. They only want the outer stuff, the shirt, being in good shirt, being in good jeans. That kind of denim jeans is
okay.
black, blue, all the colors with their sneakers, with their loafers and stuff. But when
But
it
the
comes
undies,
to
they don't really pay attention to
boxers
it.
and
Okay.
singlet, they don't pay attention to
So-
it. So that is why the
So in
women
short, you're trying
or
to
the
say that
ladies
you're
have decided
justifying that.
to do that for them. So we package it nicely. But hey, ladies, add beautiful stuff to it. Now we
okay.
have
Oh,
wrist
they'll
watches and stuff.
sometimes add perfume.
So when we give you money for your hair, it means the hair stinks. Is that what you're trying
Oh
to say?
yeah, sometimes it's just like trying to help someone with halitosis.
Halitosis,
You
yeah.
can't just tell the person that hey, your mouth smells
So,
or something.
yeah.
So you have to look for
Use-
various
okay.
kinds of ways or mechanisms to help that person. If I'm chewing a gum, maybe I'll give you one. If there's I'll go for a review with a dentist. Do you want to go with me? This and it's good. It's like this is like that. You have to do it. Every year. If it can't do it 6 months, every year at least, it's good to see a dentist. You do that. You go with a person, and it's perfecto. Yeah, by saying it or by doing that kind of, showing that kind of love.
Sure.
Yeah, so you do that with your partner.
Okay,
That
so
makes it.
another point we can talk about, for you to see that somebody truly loves you, is when the individual acknowledges your differences, and tries not to change you.
Okay.
You understand? I always see that we all from different family
Backgrounds.
orientations. Our socialization has always been different.
Yeah.
Where I'm from Saltpond. I'm a typical Saltpond guy,
Okay.
and the way we do our things is definitely going to be different from the way somebody from probably Tamale is going to do, his or her thing. So
Okay.
sometimes if you're in a relationship with somebody and you understand individuality and individual differences, the person's cultural background, I don't think that you work towards changing the person. You acknowledge the person's differences and try to adjust to it. But you try to change the person, especially when that trait the person is exhibiting is non-conforming.
Okay.
You get it? Naturally, me, I always see certain things that people laugh at me all the time. I'm that individual that, I don't know, I can sometimes, if probably my shirt is dirty, I'm in a hurry to go outside, my shoes are dirty, I can use the dirty shirt to clean my shoes and just go my way. So if you're a woman and you don't like things like that, you just see me and be like, oh, come on, why would you do that?
Okay.
I would wash it at the end of the day. It's my own shirt.
Nah.
No, like it's an example.
Yes,
You
I
will
know,
have an
but I'll
issue.
have an issue with you.
You should understand things from my
No,
perspective.
you should have a rag for that.
I'm in a hurry.
Oh,
You
please.
should
No,
understand.
no.
It happens.
It doesn't happen.
Oh, yes,
It
it
happens.
doesn't.
Some of the
It
ladies even do
It
Even this
doesn't.
things
morning
like
I did
that.
that.
It doesn't.
Even this
and
morning.
one, look at that.
No, it happens.
One
For
thing-
men, but I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying that is how it's supposed to be. What I'm
Okay.
saying is that, so for instance, if you encounter a man like that, for instance, maybe you are married to somebody and that person lived, with brothers throughout, his life. So there's nothing like a wardrobe, there's nothing like a hanger in the
Does
room
not
and
know how to pack the
things and all
things,
that.
like
So,
putting white
exactly.
shirt here, putting maybe cream and stuff. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Such a person returns from work, throws the suit somewhere.
I'll have an issue with you.
So you need to try and find better ways, more proactive ways at changing the person. You understand?
No, wait.
So-
yeah, you
so
keep
that's
on
why-
saying, he keeps on saying change. Let me tell you something. You can't change a person. As you already
You
said.
can modify the person's behavior.
No,
What
you
about that?
can't. You compromise.
Yeah,
Just
so
like you giving me your aspect, like
Okay.
how you are by you don't mind using your dirty shirt to clean your shoes or something. So since I don't like that, I'll buy you a rag.
okay.
I'll put it where your shoes are so that you use it. If it's a polish, it should be where your shoes are. Everything packed over there.
Yeah, so in a way you have modified the person's behavior. The person has
So
stopped.
yes, but I'm trying to compromise in a sense that you're saying modification. I get you, but you compromise in a way that okay, we have a saying, son or tie. That's how he has been. Please, if we realize that this is who you are, and I'm also that type that I can't live with such a person, or I have issues with that. That's why I'm saying that I'll get you a rag to clean. And I know that you are not going to use the rag every now and then. You end up using your shirt. Yes. So that's the compromising.
We use the shirts when we cannot find rags.
You
So
see?
to expedite things, that is when we quickly use the dirty shirt.
The dirty shirt.
So when the rags are available, we are definitely going to use it.
the rags are going to get dirty, and you are not going to wash them.
You are there. You wash them for us.
You see? Are they there to do your?
No, I'm talking like in a marriage setting. I'm not talking about in dating settings
Wait,
or courtship settings.
whether in marriage, you the man, you're supposed to be what? A partner,
A
two
helper.
in one.
A helper, right?
2 in 1.
Yes.
So the work shouldn't be basically on one person.
So in marriage, who is supposed to do the laundry?
You're supposed to do it together.
Always?
Oh, it's not
It
always.
depends on the kind
when the man is not around, you can do it. But if he's around and you are washing, let's say, 3 buckets or 3 baskets of clothes, he's supposed to be there to help. Even if he doesn't help with the wash and cry, he should dry them.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But you know what I want to let you understand is that we need to hit the nail right on its head, and let's not make people feel that okay, in marriage, when it comes to doing the laundry, when it comes to cooking,
It's
that's
only the
supposed to-
woman. No.
I don't believe in that. The man
Okay.
is supposed to help.
Okay.
And sometimes it depends on the kind of work that both couple do. I hope you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So in a situation where maybe you're a teacher, you're married to a nurse. The nurse is for probably night shift. She's not around. There's no food at home. Would you wait for the nurse to close and come before you eat? No. So in that instance, you're supposed to find something to eat. Under normal circumstances, a woman is the one that is supposed to make food for the family.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
her work. And the man is supposed to provide money.
Yes.
You get it? But it doesn't also underscore the fact that a man must help the woman. That I agree.
Okay.
That
So,
I agree.
I love the point that you came from, that at a normal circumstance, the woman is supposed to do this, and the
Yes.
man is supposed to provide money.
Yes.
But in a Ghanaian setting, typical Ghanaian setting,
The man is not supposed to cook. It's only the woman.
yes. And when you turn even helping in those chores, it tends to be your responsibility.
Oh no.
Oba noa ebing.
Bema noa,
Bema
you will
so
start
noa,
that
I
proverb,
think,
and you
right?
will know where.
Oh, no.
Even the woman even helping in even shop money in the house,
Hey,
the man would normally see to
Who?
it that no.
who is the head?
Sometimes
Who is the head of the family?
the man.
Okay.
So when it comes to monetary issues, the man is the head of
let
the
me
family.
let me tell you something. Though the man is providing, if he gives, let's say, 100 cedis, or take you to the market, 100 cedis, what can he do? Now it cannot do anything.
Yeah.
So the woman uses most of her money for the house.
But that one, I salute you people. You usually conjure magic. Sometimes you just ask yourself, how do you go about it? Like,
Yeah.
people are so good.
Okay.
God bless you. God bless all women.
Amen. Amen. So
Look at the way
Looking
the
at this-
amen is coming.
Amen. Yeah.
Mama
God bless
Nje,
all men.
Yes. When we
God
look
bless
at
all men.
Amen. Oh yes. Oh, I won't forget it. When you look at all these things too, we look at what? Communication.
Yeah.
Okay.
How is the communication like?
It is the engine of every relationship.
That is it.
Yeah.
Language. Let's bring it out. You go to a home and how people relate in terms of communication is hard. How do I communicate this to this person? Oh, he's like this, she's difficult, so I can't go and say this in front of her or she'll flare up. Please, how did you start it then? How was it like? Communication is the foundation of every relationship. Because if I say you are my friend and I can't communicate with you, then what's the
What kind of friendship? What kind of friendship is
yeah,
that?
because you are supposed to communicate. If there should be love, even in sex, even in romance, there should be communication.
Sure.
Because we are having, we'll get there, but we have different types of sex.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So looking at this aspect, and you can't communicate, what's the need? It's just like, just as a syndrome. Lord,
Missionary. Yeah.
Lord, please forgive me for blasphemy. Yes, that kind of thing. And it shouldn't be so. It is through communication that you get to know your wife, you get to know your husband or your partner, what she wants, what he wants, and all that. If you don't do all these things and you get into marriage, or you tell yourself that I was forced into it, you won't have a happy home.
Yeah, but when it comes to sex, communication is always verbal.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes, when it comes to sex, communication is always verbal. There's paralanguage in communication. Like
I
when it comes to
know.
yes. So I'm saying it's not always verbal.
It's not.
So the
yes.
fact that the person is not talking, you should look at a person's body language and
I beg to differ. There are certain things that a
actions,
woman would.
factor non-verbal actions.
No, wait.
But
No
he's not
words.
talking about communication as a whole in relationship.
I'm just
He's
being
on-
emphatic.
when it comes to sex.
Yes, and I'm saying that it is really important in that.
I'm saying communication is very important in sex, but I'm
Yes.
saying that there are some people that wouldn't want to make verbal or like verbal communication when it comes to sexual stuff.
How would the person know that what I'm doing
It's
is
very
right or wrong? Or it's just like,
posturing.
It's just wait, I'm coming. We just hit the legs. You know, Akosia mame. Be your name, open your legs. Let me do it. Is that it? Or let's put the light on, or let's put the light off. I can't see anything. You know, when we look at this aspect, it makes it it's just like if you like doing that kind of thing and the man is that type or the woman is that type who communicate, how do you sexually satisfy such a person? By communicating. Because if you don't communicate, so me hakakra, and you don't do that, the lights are off, you don't see anything. How is that possible?
You know that there are some ladies that would prefer their husbands to explore, just to unearth certain things that actually like make them feel good.
What have you seen so far?
I hope you understand what I'm saying. So sometimes it is the duty of a man to do the right thing. Know the body language of a woman. Okay, that is why I was a bit emphatic on the paralanguage. There are certain things the person might not verbalize it, okay, but with the actions, with the paralinguistics, you know, you would know that indeed the person is enjoying it. There are certain things the person would do, the sounds that will be coming.
No, please, it's fake.
Oh,
There are some fakes in it. When it comes to sex, communication in sex, it's important. I know there are para languages, but if you don't communicate, and what you do today does not mean that you have to do it every now and then clockwise, that the woman will feel okay. No.
You're supposed to be adventurous. That is fine.
So, you see, from the beginning, I said our traditional homes, how many of us were or are being educated on love, sex, and romance?
Okay.
Nothing. Where did we learn it from?
Through
Was it not through friends? Was it not through
friends.
books?
school.
You know, those
Friends,
kind of things. But a mom, a dad will not sit a child down. It's just once.
Yeah.
Like once in a million that you get a mom sitting a child, a daughter down, or a son down, that this is what you are supposed to do. I didn't get that. But my uncle was like that. My uncle will tell you, if he doesn't see, let's say I'm a female, and then males do not visit me in the house, he'll be asking my cousins whether I'm a gay,
A lesbian or something. Yeah.
those kind of things. You get it? Then, when I hear it, I'll just go and sit beside him and say, Uncle, I heard this. Why didn't you ask? Then you start talking. We discuss things, that kind of stuff. So if you don't do that, how will the children learn? Because, let's say, I'm sorry to say, biblically, some kind of religious aspect, it makes us so rigid that we don't know about this kind of things. When it comes to counseling, to those who give the counseling in the churches for both parties to get married, they don't give such things.
They do pastoral counseling.
That is the thing.
That
and
is
they don't
more of
tell
moralizing
you
and preaching.
They don't tell you what you expect or what will happen. They'll be, I'm a virgin. Oh, nye be that. If you could done, then you come together and it's like me now, me a blue. Then you don't even know how to sexually satisfy one another. That is normal for the first time. Then you get to know, or maybe one person is sexually active, like is doing all the deeds, the dudes, and then the other person is just gray. If you don't talk about these things, if you don't explore, if you don't say certain things, it's going to make it very difficult for things to work out for you.
Sure.
Yeah. So communication
It's very important.
is very important. Okay. And as we say, we have so many types, okay, kinds of sexual activities. We have people who say, I've never had sex before, so I'm still a virgin. But there are certain things that we do that break the hymen, okay, even as kids, before we get to that level.
Even through sports, people break their head.
Yes,
So, yeah.
but blood does not ooze out until you have the first contact, the sexual aspect that you see the blood. We have people who go into masturbation. Okay, they do it by themselves or they let their partners help them to do that. We have people who go into what? Oral sex, anal sex, vaginal sex, and some too using sex toys or fetishes.
Yeah.
You know, we have people that, okay, they want
Dildos. Yeah.
yes, their fetish is like tie them up or spank them, do this kind of things to them, and that will make them okay.
Yeah.
If you don't beat them before you have sex with them, meaning you don't love them.
Yeah.
And anyway,
Serious?
I don't want
But
to.
the concept
Yes,
of
you see,
yeah.
Asafo is asking
Serious.
serious. Yes, it's serious. Yes, it's true. It is true. It's something that happens.
The concept of sex is something that needs proper elucidation.
Yeah.
I think that people are usually misinformed. Yes, that's why so many people engage in so many sexual activities and still feel that they've never had sex before. If you are talking about chastity encompasses, abstaining from anything that is sexually
sexual,
related.
yeah.
So kissing, masturbating,
Fondling,
and those
cuddling.
things, they all form part of that. But sexual activity, anything sexual, is that thing that leads to that erotic feeling, that arousal. Okay, so we need to establish a dichotomy between coitus and sex. Coitus is an aspect of sex. There are so many forms of sex, and coitus is one. That is when there is that insertion of the male organ into the female organ. That is coitus. You understand? So there are some people that, if I'm being real, some even use how do you call it? The pressure, the pressure that comes out of the how do you call it? Shower.
Is it a shot? Okay.
Yes, just to hit their clit, just to reach orgasm. Such a person might not have had coitus before.
Okay.
So when you ask the person whether she's had sex before, she'll be like, no, I've never had sex. But they do worse things. You understand? That is why I'm saying that there should be that difference. We should establish that difference between what coitus actually is
Yes,
and what
and,
sex is. There are so many forms of sex.
Yeah.
Kissing is a form of sex. Masturbating, anal sex, oral sex. You understand? There's so many people that are comfortable giving you, like, doing oral sex, but they wouldn't want coitus itself. I think that sometimes it's a bit hypocritical. You just need to face, the reality. So when people get to know that, okay, all these are aspects of sex, then their orientation, the way they see things, they will begin to deconstruct and face reality and accept that, okay, all these are forms of it. I don't know if I'm very clear.
Yes.
So that is a notion people walk around with, and I think it's very erroneous, and it must be condemned.
Oh, I'm a veggie.
Yeah. It is
Okay. All right. So we look at making love.
Yeah.
Okay. Then having sex. It's two different things.
Yes.
Yeah. Making love, having sex.
Yes. But we use the two interchangeably. We
yeah.
think it's the same
same
thing,
thing,
but
yeah.
it's two different things. Making love is just like a body like that has come together, one soul. On my way here, I was listening to Lexus Bill on Joy FM. Okay, he was talking about his discussion was on soulmate.
Okay.
He was asking, has somebody ever found a soulmate, or do we find our soulmate? And people were saying, no, we have body mates. Okay, so body mate, somebody that you come together. Yeah. So he said, okay, the body mate was this thing. Oh, how did he even put it? Friends with benefit. Okay, so you want sex, I want sex. Come, let's enjoy ourselves. Then
And
it's
go.
a contract.
Yeah. So
So we don't have
people engage
anything-
in sex for different reasons.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Others do that for gratification, sexual gratification. Others do that because they feel that in a relationship with somebody and they're supposed to give the person that. Okay, so it depends on the motive behind whatever it is you're doing. That would determine whether you're having sex
or you're making love.
There are so many hookup girls around. There are so many prostitutes around. And a prostitute can sleep with about 5 guys a day. Does that mean that she loves all of them?
No, she's just doing it for
She's just, yeah. So in that instance, we
That's
can see
having
that
sex.
the person is having sex. All right? But when you're making love, it comes with a whole lot of commitment. You know, you're allowing somebody to enter a private area, a private area that is not supposed to be entered by just anybody. So there is that, you know, connection, body, soul, and spirit. You tend to even do things out of the ordinary, things you would never
ever
have
do.
even dreamt of doing. You understand? So making love is more intimate, it's more romantic, it's more profound, and it's more passionate. But for just having sex, it's just, you know, something that you just do.
Okay,
You
and you use the word soul, body, and all that. With making love, when you make love with somebody, it becomes very difficult to walk out. Okay, just
walk
partial.
out?
Yes, to partial. Like if I say partial, like you just hit one
a
and you
run.
think that's the end. No. You will feel something. That is when we have this kind of broken heart. People having issues. I want to commit suicide and all that. This suicide, addiction, and all this stuff comes up. But having sex is just like, I don't care. It was just a contract.
Yeah, it just happened. I mean,
Yeah,
that-
it just happened. It was just a mutual thing. It was just a. We came together. We said,
But-
let's
but
have
you know
fun.
that,
And
you know, naturally-
it happens
Okay.
in the foreign lands.
Oh yeah,
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. Our culture doesn't really permit
No,
that.
our culture does not. Our culture is in a way that, okay, you're supposed to get married before you
have sex,
do
yeah.
that, before you have sex. But now we do have sex anyhow. He's my boyfriend, she's my girlfriend. If I don't do that, meaning I don't love her.
Oh, sure.
Having sex, yes, having sex does not mean that that person loves you. It doesn't give the assurance that this is love. I have to stay with that person. You know, I don't have to go away, nothing of that sort. No, you have lust. I
Yeah,
just see
lust
this
of-
person,
yeah.
yes. So I like that, just like I use the lips. I just like the way her lips are, or her legs, her structure. Or I'm skewed towards this kind of thing. So anything that I see, I have to hit it. I just want to have sex and go.
Yeah.
There's nothing like commitment here. There's
Yeah.
nothing like I want to body and soul into it that, okay, this is who I want to be with. You spoke about having, like, when we're talking about sex, that you said it's not just about the communication.
Yeah.
Yes. So when it comes to love making, you have your own language that you
Yeah.
speak. There are certain things that you do, there are certain things that each of you do that you understand each other. You are communicating in your own way. But nothing comes out, nobody says anything. But having sex,
Yeah, but you
hit
know,
and run.
one thing that we need to also understand is that men and women see sex differently.
Yes.
Okay, I always say that men don't really need a reason to have sex, but women do.
Yes.
A woman would want to have a reason. Why am I even having sex with you? What exists between myself and you? Why am I even doing this?
I love that
So,
person. I'm in love.
Sometimes, you know, when I'm talking to people as a psychologist, you know, you go around, you know, and you're talking to people, and I keep telling them, for instance, you visit a guy who is not your boyfriend, who doesn't have any relationship with you, and things start knocking things, and you know you
He
end
says
up,
things start knocking. So
things,
how
yeah.
do we knock it?
you know, like there is that kind of attraction, and you know you start, you know, making love or having sex or something.
Okay.
In the course of that, most women would ask you certain questions. Okay, so why are we doing this? All right, but I keep telling people that which man during that period would tell
We'll
you I
have
don't
time
love
for
you?
that.
Would tell like, why are we doing this? Do you love me? That is the question most ladies would ask. But there's no man that would tell you I don't love you in the midst of that, in the middle of that. Definitely, he would just assess.
Because
I
you want
do.
to
Come
have
on, why
access
not? I
to it.
do. But right after sex, that thing that he said during sex would just vanish. He never meant it. I hope you get it. So men don't really need a reason before they have sex with somebody. That is why one man can just go around having sex with so many people. And sometimes too, I also blame certain things on the society. The society give men that room to have multiple sexual partners.
Yes.
So
But when it comes to
there
a
is this
lady-
saying I always talk about, when a key can open so many doors, that key is seen as a master key. When a key can open different doors, it is seen as a master key. But when a single door allows so many keys to open it, it is seen as a spoiled door.
Yeah.
Sure.
That is how
So
the
that's
society.
how
that's
a
how the
male and
society-
then the
exactly,
female
you understand?
aspect.
So it's a society, and it makes it normalizes it's for men. Well, it's not actually supposed to be like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now I get you. The phone lines are being activated, so you can phone in with your questions, with your suggestions, with your input and all that on 050-392-3158. 050-392-3158. You can phone in, you can send us WhatsApp and then SMS. We are live on Facebook, Radio Windy Bay 98.3, streaming live via www.uew.edu.gh. So, sex, love, romance. What is it? Romance. Is it touching? Is it kissing? Oh, what is romance?
I think that romance basically has to do with expression of one's affection in simple language. Expressing.
Hello? Okay. Oh, okay. Hello? Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So I in simple language I would say that it's more of expressing that affection you have for somebody. You get it. So letting that person feel, exhibiting that, emotional tendencies, intimately connecting with somebody. It's romance.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Romance. But when we hear of romance, we use the term, we'll cry when you're romantic.
Romantic.
Cry. You don't do what a
Like
man is
from
supposed
what
to
he
do.
said, is an expression to
Yes.
love. So
Yes.
we will expect that you will express that excitement
Yeah.
when you are to express your love to me.
Yes.
So if that doesn't come in,
Hello.
Yes, please, good evening.
Good evening. Please, your name and where you calling from?
I'm Mary. I'm calling from the North Campus.
Okay, Mary. Let's hear you.
Please, thank you. I want to ask a question.
Yeah, sure.
I learned bicycle riders, especially the females, when you keep on riding bicycle, it can break your virginity.
Oh,
And I know that no blood will be oozed out. So does it mean when you have your sex for the first time, will the blood come out since the hymen has already been broken?
oh, okay. All right, Mary, thank you very much for the question. Yeah, bicycle riding. I tried it some time ago, but I stopped because I'm scared. Anyway, it's fun. But bicycle riding, as you said, doing it vigorously every now and then can or may or may not break your hymen. But if it does, it doesn't mean that, okay, you have broken your virginity. No. The first sex that you have, the first either sex or love making that you have, that's when the blood comes out. But when you break your hymen or your hymen is broken, nothing comes out. There is no spot of blood. It's just normal.
Oh, okay. I would want to add a little bit to what you've said. I think that this is just a platform to educate our men that there are people that have actually never had coitus. I would want to use that word, coitus or copulation. Yes, yet with their first sex, you wouldn't see blood. You know, let's go the scientific way. There are people that have thick vaginal walls, okay, and the moment you penetrate, even if they've had sex before, maybe once, they sometimes,
Haven't had it for a long
yes,
time.
you can still,
You see
see
something.
blood or something. There are some bruises here and there. That doesn't mean the person is a virgin. Okay, there are people who have never had sex, but you penetrate and you don't see any blood. One thing we normally lose focus on is the size of the manhood. It sometimes plays a role. Okay, if your manhood is very small and it enters the woman's, organ so easily, it doesn't mean that the fact that blood didn't come out, the person is not a virgin. If there were to be a bigger version of what you are using, definitely. So sometimes we are a bit, I feel we are uneducated as to how to understand some of these things. There are so many things that goes into it. Somebody might have broken their virginity, or might have torn their hymen through sport, through any other activity. It doesn't mean the person has had coitus before.
Okay.
So we need to educate our men and let them understand that there are some people with their first sex, you will never see any form of blood. It doesn't mean that they've really had something like that before. That is what I would want to add.
Okay, but if you have not had it before, definitely something would tell, something would show, or will let the man know that this lady of mine or this woman that I'm in a relationship with or I'm married to is a virgin.
Is it always?
Yes, there is a feel. Whether it's Nkrumah or it is the bigger size, there would definitely be a feeling.
Yes.
Because the penetration, okay, just imagine if you're trying to put something, okay, let's say this pen in a hole. It's just small. You're trying to push it. It's going to, there's a pressure on it. Nothing has ever entered that hole. So it's just tiny like that. So you are going to create that hole. So it's going to cause pain and definitely something. You will know.
It is not always the case.
But
there are some
know.
people naturally they get overly wet when you really do the foreplay very well. Okay. So in such instances, the penetration might not really be difficult. The fact that a person might experience, some kind of pain,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that the penetration will be too difficult.
Okay.
Okay, I
Hello.
think there's a caller on the line.
Hello, please, your name and where you calling from? Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Please, your name and where you calling from? Hello. Okay. All right. So, romance. You're still on it. Do you stay in a marriage, okay? Let's say you see the face every now and then. Okay? Every day. Someone will say, yeah, eating or you're tasting abenquine every day. Don't you get fed up with the abenquine? Don't you get...
If the abenquine is nice, how would you have to get fed up?
Oh, are you
Oh,
sure?
Yes.
When the abenquine, my version is when the abenquine is nice, you have to change it into something else. Hello? Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Please, your name and where you calling from?
Please, can I hear you?
Please, your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Prince Bundikubo.
Okay, Prince. Please let me hear you.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Well, I just want to find out, is this a lecture or is this a discussion program somebody who can contribute before I go in with my
Oh,
phone?
please, you can contribute. It's just a discussion. We are talking about love, sex, and romance, the pros and cons. So if you have anything to
Okay.
share, yes, you can, please.
in that sense, looking at love and love, dating and all that, whether courtship or whichever way you can put it.
Yeah.
When you look at that word, it's a very broad word, and usually we misinterpret it to some extent, especially the African man and the African woman.
Okay.
Well, I was speaking from the angle of which you were saying, men to help the ladies when it comes to some choices.
Yeah.
The African man at times don't make it a point to help the woman. But the case it's rather the cause of the woman.
Oh, okay.
At some point, those men who make it a point to help them, they'll end up by saying it becomes the work of the woman, of the man rather. So in the next few minutes or in the coming days, when the man refuses or is not able to do that, they attack the man as a bad person, or you are supposed to do this, or they will say, this is what you are supposed to do and you are not able to do.
Okay.
And I've seen a clear example of which there was a time a man decided to help the lady to bath the children, wash and do cooking.
Yeah.
And there was a time he just decided not to go for a break. Not that there was something wrong. But he says, okay, let me sit down and see how this lady will ask you what I am doing.
Okay.
So it just came that, she jumped inside and said, why not? Why are you sitting down? Are you not doing that? So you want me to do it alone?
Oh.
So in that case, the woman is telling the man that it has been your job as well.
Okay.
Not knowing the man is only complimenting you as a lady.
All right.
So that's the most reason why in Africa or in Ghana, that the men are not giving some helping hands to the ladies when it comes to marriage and courtship and all that kind of thing.
Definitely.
That's my suggestion today.
Okay, thank you very much, Prince. But we shouldn't also forget that as we helping the women, you can make it in a jovial way. Sweetie, honey, babes, darling, I'm doing this. I'm helping. I want to ease the stress. I want to ease up everything. But don't take it as if it's going to be my job. Oh, it's not my job. I'm only a helper here. So you put it in a jovial way. You don't have to be rigid about it. When she's tired, don't joke. So it should be in a jovial way. And then it doesn't mean that as you're doing it, it becomes what? A job that you're supposed to do every now and then. When you are not around, that's beautiful. But if you're around, you can help. We are humans. We just need you around. Even if you can't do it, just the talk alone, being around the person doing all the chores and stuff, it makes the work so easier, okay, than you not being around. We women have a way of doing our stuff. Okay, we have a way of doing our stuff. Let's say the way you want to chop onions, the way you want to dye stuff. If you want the man to do it, he's not going to do it that way for you. Okay, so you just need him around, just for him to chat with you. Just for him to chat.
There are some men that are very good at a woman.
Oh yes, I know. But when it comes to me, I have a particular way of doing things. So just be around.
Mr. Asian is listening.
So just be around. That's all. Okay, you cut this thing or chop this thing. Okay, do it in this way. I want you to do it. This size is okay. Beautiful. That is what we need. But it doesn't mean that it becomes something that you solely have to do it every now and then.
So
right?
This will not be a problem when you go to the Western world. But in a local area here, especially Ghana.
Yes. Oh, it's not Ghana. It's Africa. Men do not have to do anything when they get married. That is the kind of socialization that some have been, through. So it's just like, okay, I'm married, so why should I do my things now? The woman should cook, she should wash, she should do this, she should do that. And let me use this. When you go to a typical village, you see the men with their cutlass at their back. Or holding it and cutting the weeds on the way and stuff. Then the woman will have the firewood, whether it's the firewood or whether it's the food stuff that
The
they have
baby at the
gotten,
back.
and the baby at the back, and
Even
then one
pregnant.
maybe
And
pregnant and has two also by the side.
Yeah.
The man will not even hold.
He's the man.
You see, he's
head
the
of the
man.
family.
Yeah, that's
That should be
you know,
treated as such.
that's why I said, you know, behavior is culturally induced. But
Oh.
this discussion leads us to the question that is stereotyping inevitable?
It's not.
Yeah.
Is not inevitable. Yeah, that one day I would say that is not. And looking at the romance, okay, my married people, jazz up your marriage, okay? Jazzing up your marriage or spicing it up. You saw the lady in this manner, or you saw the guy in this manner. He was slim, she was sexy, she was this, she was what you wanted. Okay, this is what I want. Maybe when you met her before you got married, she was into G-string and all that, but now she's into granny panties.
Yeah, grandma panties.
Yeah, those kind of things, or having, as Pastor Odro would say, having a cloth, tie a cloth around it. Please wear the shorts, do the makeups. Okay, the men will tell you, I don't like it. Do a light one, touch up. Okay, touch up a little, look good. There was this tweet that I saw. The guy said, okay, wives who go out all dressed up for people to see, they have their wigs on, but when they come home, then they remove the weave caps for us to look at those dirty braids of theirs. Are we not entitled to look at those beautiful stuff? So yes, when you are home, don't think you're just home like that, so you just have to leave yourself like that. Make yourself look good. When kids come up to, once a while, okay, you got married to the woman, go out on a weekend date or something, a holiday, have fun, enjoy yourself. When you first met, remember those things. That's why I said jazz up. So do those kind of fun things, and then the man will not think that, oh, the woman is stopping it somewhere, or the man too is going for a side chick or something. So do those kind of things. Wear the jeans, wear the shorts. If he buys you jean string, wear them. Lingeries, use them. I don't want this. Communication is the key. Do those kind of things. There should be a time that you guys can, talk about issues that is going on, what he's doing that you don't like, what she's doing that you don't like. But you shouldn't sit down and sink it all in that, oh, I don't want to say something that will bring issues in our marriage. Then someone will say, oh, this marriage or this relationship, they have never fought before. Please, there's no healthy marriage as that. You definitely, do
conflict,
stuff.
yeah.
Yes, but later you need to trash them out and then live happily ever after.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. But I think that, there's this perception that people don't do campaign after elections.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
You
But
know? Yes, but I think it's
I still
something.
want
It's
you
a
to let me know that I
notion.
look beautiful.
It's a notion
I
that
look
must
handsome.
be corrected. Whatever you did to wow the person into loving you,
Yeah.
there are the things you're supposed to continuously do. All right, variety, they say, is the spice of life. You don't need to be one way. You don't need to be timid. You need to explore.
Yeah.
Explore various avenues. Issues about romance is something that should be normalized in our relationships, in our marriages. Okay, because if there is nothing like romance, if you don't express the way you feel about your woman or your man, then what kind of relationship are you in? People hardly even praise their husbands or their wives if they are well dressed. You understand? Let me give a
Compliments.
typical example. My mom is a caterer, and growing up, sometimes when my mom prepares a very delicious dish, and daddy after eating, you would hear daddy calling mommy a particular kind of name. You understand? So growing up, I always, I've always known that when daddy is calling mom that particular kind of name, it means the food was very
good.
sumptuous, So it's like that, and that is what we saw growing up. So at this stage, we even laugh, at our mom when it comes to things like when she cooks, and you also try to, imitate our daddy, and so it's something that is supposed to be nice. So romance, as I said earlier, expressing that feeling for that person should be normalized in our relationships. So whatever you were doing that made the person fall in love with you should be maintained, or you can even better it.
Yeah.
You
I
understand?
remember the kids will go.
Yes, you
It
have
will
to
still
try
be the two.
novel ways to make you look attractive. The world is changing. The society is dynamic. All right, don't be too primitive. Like you always try to go the old school. Try to add some value to yourself. Just as you were saying, if you're a man and you feel your tummy is too big, your woman does not like it, you try to hit the gym.
Yeah.
Just try to.
You can even take a walk
You understand?
every evening. You can do it together.
Just as you said, men are also moved by what we see. So if the tummy is bloating, at least try to work on yourself. But men are also supposed to alert their women when it comes to issues like that with decorum. You don't just say it. Oh, look, after giving birth, your stomach is becoming too big, your belly is becoming... No. That is not nice. Add some romanticized finesse to it.
Yeah.
All right, so romanticized finesse, like make it
Let's
it sound
work out
nice.
together.
Why
Let's
don't you,
do
if you
this
want to go to the
thing.
gym, go with her. She wasn't like that when you met her.
Yeah.
So if the tummy is bloating, you need to find a better way to make the person feel at ease, rather than making the person feel a bit inferior.
Yeah.
So there's some men that will not even want to go out with their wives because of the way they look.
Yeah.
Why did you even marry her in the first place? Was she like that when you met her? You were the one that caused
Put her into
in
that situation.
Yeah, so I think that this is just an admonition to our men. We need to try our possible best to find better ways of approaching issues like that. And our women should also try to understand us.
Yeah.
Sometimes work will not allow you to, get time to work out and all of that. So when the stomach is bloating, sometimes they also spoil us. In the evening, they'll be giving
spoil
us,
you with the
food and all
the
of that.
sweets
Yeah.
and all that. It's the same way that you want us to change for you in terms of our appearance. It's the same way that we also want you to see you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening. Please, your name and where you call. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. So you want us to keep in shape? We can do it together. You eat late. We also have things to do and all that. We don't get time for ourselves. Once a while, you should tell us that, oh, have your me times. I'm taking the kids out. Or I have paid for this. There's a ticket. Go to a spa. This 1 week or something. Enjoy yourself. And I'll do the rest. It's supposed to be like that to make it fun. If you can leave the kids with grandma, granddad and stuff, and then you go out to do your things, yeah, you do it a little. Okay, have that kind of me time for both of you. So you jazz up the marriage a little. Some have it maybe when they are celebrating 10 years, 15 years and stuff. But I shouldn't get to that level before you do that. It can be just a year into the marriage. You can do those kind of things to bring yourself like closer and stuff.
Yeah, lack of romance in relationships and marriage sometimes can lead to some stagnancy.
as if you are siblings in the house.
Yeah, it can even lead to emotional breakdown because the other party might feel that my partner is not really showing me enough love. So it can lead to emotional breakdown or stagnancy. Like there's nothing new.
Yeah.
That is why I said earlier that you have to try novel ways of doing things.
Sure.
Don't be one-sided.
Yeah.
Don't be one way. Be flexible. Like,
Okay.
Try new things.
Oh.
Even with serving of food. Even with serving of food. Just try new things. Sometimes garnish the food to look nice. These are all part of you understand?
Yeah.
You get it. So, and sometimes, one thing I always see is that we live in a society where sex is something that is supposed to be requested by men. So, if you're a woman and you're always requesting for sex,
What say?
that kind of thing.
You have to initiate it
Exactly.
too. It's not just
It's not
one-sided.
How nice would it be you calling your husband at home at work
Or
and
even
alerting him that
this evening something would happen.
Charlie.
Yeah.
So coming
You know?
home, it's reminded the day don't him say.
So you don't have to do a lot of foreplay. It just, because the idea is already
Yes.
there. You have already
And-
psyched the mind.
And
so
you
things
also
will
have
work
to
out.
make sure that you should break that monotony of bedroom sex.
Can
bedroom
do it in the
sex.
kitchen, at the hall,
Wherever
in the
you
shower,
find yourself, like
anything.
just have to at least be a bit innovative, adventurous, explore.
The aeroplane, this is what wheelbarrow.
I mean, I'm a
kind-
virgin, so
Oh,
I don't know
please.
the styles.
Oh please.
See who
You
is
go to
talking.
the SHS student, they'll tell you
They'll tell
more
me,
stuff.
oh, okay.
Yes, there are a lot of styles
see.
that they know.
I see, because my dad is watching, so
So, talking about romance,
Mm-hmm.
we normally think that romance is all about what happens before sex.
Mm-hmm.
So, in our setting, talking about romance, we think that it has to just happen because I need sex.
Mm-hmm.
But I would normally say that it should be a lifestyle.
yeah.
Yeah.
It should be a lifestyle
Yeah.
because you don't. Not the touching part of it is what we are talking about.
No.
It goes
It entails
it
a
goes
lot.
way beyond beyond
Yes.
that.
So
yeah.
Sule was talking about, how you even serve food and other things, how you dress,
Yeah.
how you talk.
Yeah.
It should all form part of romance. It's not about the touching aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's some people they
So-
call their husbands Kojo Papa.
Oh.
It's not nice. Like
Ajwa mame.
why?
Yes,
Kojo
be
Papa.
name, those kind of things. It's
Let me
not
tell you
romantic.
one funny thing. My father was calling my mom mommy, and in returns was
Daddy.
daddy.
Oh, okay.
And one time, my father said, "So can't you call me sweetheart?" Kakra?
At least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes, these are some of the things that turn the men on, or like, and vice
Yeah.
versa. You get it. So we just have to find better ways of going about things.
Yeah.
Romance should be expressed. You should express the way you feel about your woman.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you buy a new clothes and she wears them, just tell her something nice. Oh babe, you look good today. Or you look nicer. Sometimes you tell them you look good today and they'll be like, so all this while I don't look good.
It's only
You
today.
get it, yeah. So like you look more beautiful today. And stepping out, trust me, it will be something that will be at the back of your mind throughout the whole day. Because
Yes.
my husband even told me I was looking
So
good.
I don't need anyone.
So I don't need that,
affection
affirmation from
or
anybody
anything.
outside. So romance is very essential.
Yeah.
It's just that people downplay its importance in our relationships, and that is why most relationships are hitting the rocks.
Yeah.
Because whatever they did from the beginning, when they were courting, when they were dating, after marriage or the handcuff nation in saving. So
That's
you're
all.
mine. You understand? They
Yeah.
don't exploit, they don't do anything else. And I think that notion, must be corrected. At least people should try and express their affection more to their partners or their spouses.
Yeah, so if you just joined in, I'll say that you have missed a lot of things. Because today we dissect into love, sex, romance, the pros and cons. And we have looked at so many what love is, the types of love, okay, signs of true love, what sex is, types of sex. And then we have looked at what romance. What are we supposed to do? What should we do to our loved ones? How are we supposed to express ourselves? The kind of things we do, the kind of things we say to one another makes the bond stronger, makes that kind of friendship there. We don't break it. We don't begin to see one another as a brother or a sister and be calling mommy and be calling daddy by using sugar-coated words, trying to jazz it up every now and then. So for us to round up, Sule, I'll say something in a minute about love, sex, and romance, and then the same thing to Prince Iwa.
Okay, thank you. I think our discussion has been very intriguing and interesting. I would sum up whatever I've said by saying that we need to pay critical attention to what love is, what sex is, and the role that romance play in our
Plays.
relationship. Okay, we shouldn't underscore the fact that these young guys of nowadays are into the things we don't really expect them to be doing. So we need to have more education. We need to have more discussion on things like that. All right. And the fact that people also misconstrue sex, to mean different things and all of that. I think, we should have a comprehensive discussion about that, and let people begin to appreciate the fact that sex entails a whole lot of things. So I would end by saying that we should spice up our relationships and express our affection to our partners.
Okay. So,
Yes.
Prince?
So, I'll also say that love is something C.S. Lewis also put it so nice that to love is to become vulnerable.
Yeah.
To love is to become vulnerable. So you expect a lot. Be ready to compromise. And firstly, accept who you are before you can love the next person. Loving yourself
Okay.
is so important. So you cannot express love to the next person whilst you don't love yourself. So accept who you are and what you stand for, and be ready to compromise. And again, we should let these things to become a lifestyle, not a one-day wonder.
Okay.
Talking about love, romance, and sex, they are all linked together. So love will come, we will experience romance, which we are saying is everyday
Life.
life, and then sex will come in.
Okay.
You can't jump one and do the other. It is connected.
Okay. All right. So let's learn to love one another. It shouldn't be a one-way thing. Let romance be our everyday life. It shouldn't be just once a while that, oh, today I do it, then the next day I forget. Let it be something that we live with. And remember that sex isn't one size fits all, because what one person would love wouldn't be the same thing as the other. And let's learn to communicate in our relationship, because that makes it a good one. So please don't forget that. Thank you for listening, and don't forget, same time next week we will be here.
Nuggets for life.
Nugget for life.